right, we're going with round 2. So this broadcast is going out in my Facebook group, Intuitive Angel Messages on Facebook. And we're going to be talking about which paths consciousness will be taking in the future. So usually about once a week, I like to tune in with Spirit as to where would Spirit like to go, what would Spirit like to talk about, and what's important moving forward. So you'll see next week, I was tuning in, and Eric would like to step forward and converse with everyone and just help everyone the best that he can and answer questions. So that'll be fun next weekend. This Sunday, we have Connor and Richard. You guys have seen me go live with them in the past. They have been in my Mediumship for Beginners course and also have taken my Mediumship 102 course. And we're going to be channeling about and talking about Bigfoot. So that'll be fun too. I can't wait. I like to do things different. And I know that there's a lot of conversation about Bigfoot, so I just kind of wanted to delve into that. And Connor and Richard are going to jump off the deep end with me, so that'll be a ton of fun. It's the way I like doing things. Otherwise, what's the point? It's gotta be different and fun, or else forget about it. So this today is a topic of consciousness on Earth and what direction, what paths will consciousness be taking as we move forward into the future. And when I asked who's going to be channeling the guidance through me, I received my spirit guide, Adrian. So Adrian and I have had many Pleiadian lifetimes together, and he chose to hang back in our soul group and just basically help me out on Earth. Thank God. I remember not even tuning into his energy because I didn't know he was there, because I wasn't, even when I started channeling, even when I was just starting, I knew my guardian angels were there. They were the first ones to step forward. Archangel Michael was right there. And then when I started giving readings, I realized I was seeing at least 2 spirit guides per person. And I was like, okay. And it dawned on me, okay, so I had to ask some questions, like, because I am so in vibrational alignment with the guardian angels when channeling, and they're the ones that obviously I've agreed to channel for others in this lifetime. And they're the ones that they can see everything, they know everything from a very loving perspective, and they can come through and help us in ways that we can't even imagine. So I don't even really try. I just go, I'm open to anything. If you want to help me with anything, let's go. And that seems to work real well for me. My friends often from, my high school days, they'll say, you're just so lucky. Yeah. Yeah, it must just be luck. That's it. I just leave them to it in their 3D perspective. I don't say anything else. One of my friends, I did say, it's manifestation. Give thought to what you want. Ask Spirit to help you with what you want and what you need. That's what it is. And he's like, oh, okay. Oh, all right. Contemplation time. A little bit at a time, right, peeps? I mean, we grow at the pace that we're comfortable with what we want and what we're ready for, right? Some people are ready to sprint down the street, and some are ready to walk. It's okay either way. It's okay. The angels knew I was ready to sprint. So I was ready to sprint for years. And then when they came knocking and told me, okay, well, this is what we're going to do, I was like, panic and fear, but I still did it anyways. I'm not going to sit here and let fear run my show in life, because then you're not really living life, in my opinion, if you continue to let that happen too often. Now, there is warranted fear for some things, obviously, But if you're going to let every little thing weigh you down and be fearful and worried about, then you're not living life. Hashtag fact. Just telling you straight up how it is. All right. So, Adrian, are we ready to rumble? He says, yes, we are, Kristin. He's doing this like he's stretching and he's getting ready. I love that. You know, they used to do that with me right from the very beginning, this whole stretching thing, and it would always make me laugh, like they were warming up, getting ready. All right, Adrian, I'll let you take the reins. Okay. He's saying, hello, everyone. I am Kristin Davies' spirit guide, although she has been in many different forms and she has been known as many different names other than Kristin Davies over centuries, if we believed in linear time. Oh, geez. I'm going to try not to laugh too much. Okay. On a broader perspective, we are beings of light and love. Consciousness itself, spread out, learning, growing, evolving, and it never ends. We pick and choose where we want to go, what we want to do, what vessel we want to be housed within. Each and every single one of you has chosen this lifetime. And we know from the other side that that might be difficult for you to understand that or agree with that, but that's okay. There's you in this vessel with, he's talking about your perspective through the experiences that you've had here on Earth. He keeps saying simulation. So for spirit, they see this as a seeming experience that we're temporarily housed in, learning and growing. And we are just here temporarily. Just like when we watch a TV show or we watch a movie screen, we're not going to get worked up when the characters misbehave, are we? Right? So he would like you to move forward in your life experiencing this through this lens on Earth. When you see things that get your blood boiling or get you worked up, he wants you to remind yourself that, again, he keeps saying the word simulation over and over. Okay, so he wants you to see it as like a temporary experience in which you're housed in, instead of like, this is all real and this is really happening. And now I'm going to get really worked up about it. And I'm going to have, tantrums, and I'm going to complain to anybody I can about what I'm seeing, right? And I'm going to turn on the news and I'm going to fixate and focus. He says this is the three-dimensional perspective of the simulation. The higher vibrational way of perceiving the simulation is observing it, knowing that this is a simulation and that it is temporary. Focus more on what you want to create rather than focusing on what makes you uncomfortable and upset. That's what we suggest. He wants that to sink in, obviously, because it's quiet. Okay? So focus on what you want. And if you keep focusing on the same narrative of the simulation that you're observing on Earth with others' experiences, what's going on in the world, you need to shift that because you're putting energy towards that, right? If you want help with doing this, you can just simply ask your team of angels, your spirit guides. They will try to get your attention and remind you and help you move your attention elsewhere. If you don't like something that you're seeing, he wants you to think about how you want it to be. How do you want it to be? And if you see others suffering, he wants you to send light to them and love to them. Okay? And if you feel guided to act or take action steps or do something further, such as donate money, donate your time, donate your energy, food, whatever you're being guided to do, then do that. Okay, so the topic at hand here is, what paths are the streams of consciousness here on planet Earth going to take into the future? First, he wants to ask if anyone has any questions about what he is saying right now. So if you have any questions about what he is relaying at this time, he'd like to take them. And while we're waiting to see if anybody has a question, I'm going to take a sip of water. Okay. All right. So we go around and around and around, right? I'm in a body right now. He's on the other side in our soul group. So he's my spirit guide, but he's also my soulmate because he's from my soul group, right? And then there's other lifetimes where we decide to come into a physical vessel together. And then there's other lifetimes where probably I hang back on the other side and I hang out and I'm helping him while he's in a physical vessel, right? And not necessarily always on Earth. Because I know that we've had physical experiences, seeming physical experiences in a simulated experience in physical vessel on Earth and also Pleiadian. So I remember getting a hypnosis session, and I went right to a Pleiadian planet, and he was the first one I met in a Pleiadian physical form, and he was so incredibly stunning. Just the Pleiadians are so incredible. I was like, wow. And I remember in the session they said, is it a male or a female? And I'm like, I can't tell, it's just so incredible. It's that incredible. And so I remember asking, are you male or female? And he says, I'm a male. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, that's good. Okay, more insight into the simulatione. A Course in Miracles. You can study that if you want, he's suggesting. Yeah, or by Gary Renard. Gary Renard has a lot of written material that will focus on this as well. So if you have a hard time with A Course in Miracles, then you're going to go look up Gary Renard's material. It's okay, go ahead. And it's on the tip of my tongue too. I want to read it again, actually. And so Gary Renard has also written of his personal experience moving forward, because if you continuously focus on this experience as being real every time, and you get delved right into it, right? What are you going to manifest in your future lifetimes? Right? You're going to come right back in. And around on the hamster wheel we go. So he just wants us to see it from a broader perspective and see it as it is. And then at some point, there's no need to continue on the hamster wheel, is there? Yeah. Okay. So do you want to talk about anything else in regards to this simulation here on Earth? You know what they always have said to me ever since I ever started channeling the angels, 15, 16 years ago? They would always say this seeming reality, this seeming experience. My spirit guide here is using the word simulation. So seeming experience. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right, so are we ready to rumble? Okay. Okay, so he wants to talk about me for a split sec on my day-to-day, how I have visitations from different energies that will come to visit me, just to spend time with me, or also to communicate with me, to also relay a message through me for someone else when I'm driving my car, when I'm sitting and relaxing at home. The key point is relaxation. So when we're more still and quiet and relaxed is more likely the time the spirit will come and visit you or communicate with you or through you for someone else. Okay? So this is what he wants to talk about. Yeah, so a lot of times when I'm driving my car, I can feel Jesus in the back seat, and he just comes in for a quick conversation, and then or guidance about something that I'm thinking about, and then he just heads off. Okay? So for some of us, moving forward, we are going to notice our channels opening and expanding, and we're going to be having a lot more conversation and communication with the he wants to do it in air quotes, non-physical, okay? The seeming non-physical, okay? Whether that be your spirit guide, your guardian angel, your team of angels, the ascended masters, as we call them, the archangels, or any loved ones that we want to visit with or want to drop in and chat with us, okay? So that's one path that many of us will be taking who are awakening on the planet. Another path of that will be taken is an amplification of healing abilities in order to help the masses. So he's talking about if we're already using healing modalities in order to help others, we'll be nudged forward to step forward, step into the light more, make others more known of our presence in order to help them with our healing hands or healing modalities, and these abilities will be amplified because this is what the populace really needs right now, many of us. He's showing me like spiritual retreat centers. Those will become very popular in the future. And many of us will be asked to come there to participate for short periods of time globally in different parts of the world. Okay. He says, isn't it interesting how difficult times can actually bring people together? And that is happening on a global scale. Now he's going to talk about what's going to unfold for others on the earth moving forward. Some will be awakening and just curious and dipping their toe in the water, learning a little bit here and there from others who are stepping forward more so through YouTube, TV, radio programs, etc. Spiritual retreat centers, right? And then there's going to be those who are choosing to be more neutral. He's kind of showing like put their head in the sand and just kind of keep to themselves. Like the world's kind of going off the deep end and I'm just going to do my own thing over here and I'm not going to really participate as much. Just let it sort itself out. It's kind of like just a continuation of how things have been on the planet for quite some time. Not really participating, just keeping to oneself. So just not participating, basically. Or participating in very superficial kind of ways with people that you feel comfortable with. And then that's good enough and call it a day. And then there's going to be more of a three-dimensional approach of more of an unawakened perspective, and that is much more resistance, chaotic behavior, and okay, go ahead. A little bit louder on that one. Those who think they know what's best, and acting upon it, whether they do or don't. Okay. Okay, go ahead. So there will be pockets of chaos moving forward with other streams of consciousness on the planet. He's talking about certain areas globally. Sorry, I got a real itchy nose, so I'm just going to ask it to step back. Obviously, I can tell probably Jesus is wanting to step forward, but I'm just asking for the itching to stop. Thank you. So there's going to be certain... Sorry, it's just really itching, like not normal. Someone's tickling me. Alrighty. So there's going to be certain parts of the planet that are more heavy in frequency, and it's going to be those areas that drop your frequency more readily, whereas other parts of the world, the land and the overall energy in that part of the world is more high vibrational, and it's not as easy for chaotic behavior to kick off because the overall frequency is much higher. And in fact, he says when you're more heavier in frequency, you probably won't want to live in those areas because it'll feel irritating to you. People are too nice or too happy, or you're not interested in doing the same things that they are. Okay? And overall discomfort. But overall, he says, as we move forward, there's going to be a lot more light frequency permeating the planet. And that in itself is going to bring some discomfort as we adjust to the new light frequencies. And he's talking about light codes coming forth within our vessels. And that's why it's really important to let go of focusing on anything that drops your frequency and grounding your energy often, because as this light frequency picks up speed here on Earth, whatever you place your attention upon or think about, you'll get an immediate kickback of that. So if you're going with the flow and you're more easygoing and you're just more relaxed and chill, you're just going to go with the flow more and get more of that. Whereas if you're really hyper focusing on things that are dropping your frequency, or he's also talking about, okay, yeah, got it. Then you're going to get an immediate kickback of that. So you'll really feel it. You're going to really feel whatever you're focusing on that's dropping your frequency. And he's also talking about that we also need to be really aware that whatever we are saying to somebody else, you know, maybe we're gossiping or maybe we're talking about something in particular, we need to really be aware that what we're focusing on and what we're talking about can also drop other people's frequency and affect their energy, you know. So it's just really important to really think before you speak. That's really, really important. And think about, is it really necessary or worth it to bring this up in conversation with people? Okay. All right. All right. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Just gonna move through here. Well, you guys have probably heard Lorna Byrne talk about this before, the author of Angels in My Hair, which is a lady who has seen angels her entire life. and she's from Ireland, and her team of angels have been guiding her to constantly come to the USA and to help the USA, because they keep saying that the USA is where the light frequency will first, people will awaken more so in the US starting out the gate. Now, this is what she has said. She's also just purchased a piece of land with a huge house in which she's working on right now. And she's starting to convert this and get it ready to be a spiritual retreat center. So a lot of people are getting a spiritual retreat center together for the years ahead. Obviously, she is probably being informed by her team of angels to do so. I would imagine that's probably why she's doing it, to get ready for what's to come, right? Do you want to talk about the US and the light? Yeah. So there are beings of light and love, souls, that are very high vibrational, and they're ready to help populate the planet, come in, right, through physical form, seeming physical form, in order to anchor more light. And the planet will be ready for them in certain locations, in certain family dynamics, certain families with certain people. He's using my friend Ashley Cunningham, for example. So me and Ashley, when she became pregnant, I said, this is what I'm seeing, and it's a little baby girl, and she's so light-filled, and she's so observant, and everything, me and her channeled the same thing, and that's exactly what's happened. So she has a little baby girl, and she's so observant and very high vibrational and very, like, just incredible. And that's what's going to happen more and more so moving forward. So the angels and the spiritual realm would like a lot of procreation to take place in the USA, Canada region, and start to help populate this region with very high vibrational beings of light and love. Isn't this basically what I'm getting? And I've gotten that actually for years. He's just saying something that I've heard for years. In fact, they're on me even. And I'm like, I don't think so. Somebody else can have 8 kids and make up for it. How's that sound? So someone here listening, you better get on it. All right. Okay. So, all right. Do you want to say anything else about that? He says now he doesn't want the rest of the world to feel like there aren't pockets or areas of bright light. Okay. There are. But overall, collectively, large, expansive country or states, he's saying this is where predominantly these beings of light and love will be coming in, and north of the U.S. Okay, yeah. He's teasing me because when I was a little kid, they used to put me in a little chair at the table, and I had blonde hair and bright blue eyes. And my family used to say this to me all the time. I'd sit there and I'd watch them, and I'd just like, it was like as if I was like a little adult observing and really paying attention. And then even as I got to be like 7, 8 years old, I was asking my mom all these questions about, sex and, how are babies made. And like, it was like I was just absorbing information about planet Earth as much as I could. So, really paying attention and observing. So it's funny that he's saying that, because that's totally what I was like. Yeah, I was totally like that. Yeah. So there, if you notice, souls coming in, and they're very high vibrational and very observant. And he's also talking about They won't let the heavier frequencies rock them as much here on Earth. They're going to hold their own light separate from, which will help to lift and raise the overall frequency here on Earth. He's teasing all of us to get busy. Not me, you. I love it. Okay, so on this topic, I think we'll wrap it up today. And just remember, where you place your attention, energy flows. So you being aware and observant of what you're paying attention to and what your thoughts are in that moment. Just be detached, be the still observer, observe it, and then you can hand it to your team of angels if you want. Highly recommend it. And then move your attention elsewhere. And if you get stuck on the hamster wheel in your head, start to what? If somebody gets real entrenched and stuck in the head, hand it off 30, 50 times a day. Oh, I'm worrying about this again. Here you go. Again, 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 again. And if you really want to ask for even more backup, you can call in. I guess he's saying like larger beings, such as he's saying larger beings, but it's just more punch, shall we say. You can call in Archangel Michael, Jesus, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and they will even form a unity and come in all together to help. Now, I had a tickling on my nose, and I'm just going to see if there's any other guidance to come through. Yes, there is. It's from source frequency. But Jesus is off nearby. I can feel him. He's right back over there, but further away. He's observing. Okay, so the message coming in from source frequency is, collectively as a whole, we will move somewhat in tandem with each other because we're all here together. So you can feel when the energy on the earth is heavier. You can take your car out and drive around the city. You can see when people overall are feeling a bit heavier. Some of the people I've noticed also are a bit stressed out and checked out. So they're not making maybe the best decisions on the road, including myself from time to time. I'm like, whoa, where am I? Like, I need to ground a bit more into my body here. But it's... you can tell collectively we're going to go in the same directions to a degree, yeah. But individually is where it's at. Individually. Because the more of us that awaken on the planet and understand the individual impact and what we can bring to the table will then collectively influence the collective frequency or on Earth. And that's really important for you to know. Individually is even more important moving forward. Thank you, dear ones. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you guys and Bigfoot on Sunday. Bye.